What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mad Black coming to you live with another No Man's Sky. So let's see, what do we got going on today? Cleaning out my inventory, making everything look all nice and shiny. Yeah, it's chilling today. I don't think we're gonna do a little bit of base building later. Um, let's see, you might hear an echo. That's from Germ's mic. I apologize for him. Let's see, what missions we got? We can go on a fantastic voyage. We are just organizing to make sure everything looks good. Okay. Hold on. Ooh, I had to put on a fucking hoodie. Oh. Okay. Let's actually go do something. Hmm. Going to Blacksville. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh, she's from Brooklyn. Get out of here. I am not trying to get stomped out in no Timbos. Okay, so You backed him? Nope, not yet. You guys are getting off? Hello? Whew. Alexa, 18 times 2.
18 times 2 is 36.
That was lazy. I could have did that. I hate you. In the process of evicting my roommate. Evicting. Evicting.
The background, perhaps related to those saloon signs, but they had to revert it for the fractal release. It's strange though, the badge and player banner for the Utopia expedition both prominently feature the silhouette of a settlement, specifically the one used in the Frontier's key art. Now I've seen some people wonder if this is maybe like a ship, right? It kind of looks like it has sails and everything. But these things sticking out, they're actually in the original key art. It's just the shadows on the ground. And the shape at the bottom, I'm pretty sure it was never really meant to be seen this way. But that's essentially just to fill out the bottom of the expedition badge, I think. As a graphic designer, those are my 2 cents. But if you want to think it's a ship, maybe it's a giant city on the back of a ship, right? Who knows? Anyways, one of the expedition rewards, the planetary base poster, also features this settlement, and the description reads, "This poster captures a towering skyline within the Utopia Foundation Communal Habitation Project." Towering skyline. The other two posters, notably, are based around the game's three main factions. So the expedition's theme of Utopia and its extensive use of settlement imagery may just be coincidental. It could just be whatever Hello Games had lying around to reuse. However, the two posters focused on factions, and the new signs, one for each faction, do make me wonder if this expedition was originally more focused on settlements and maybe even settlements between different factions. However, Hello Games probably weren't able to get the settlements to function on the Switch in time, if that was the plan. So they obviously couldn't release an expedition focused on settlements. In fact, the settlement-focused quest, A Trace of Metal, was added to the Switch in this update, but somehow reworked it to exclude settlements. It's all very suspect to me, but ultimately none of it actually means anything concrete. While new cantina signs, new recipes, new chef title quests, small changes to settlement floor plans, and liberal use of settlement imagery could all lead me to the conclusion that something to do with settlement bars is cooking. I have to stop myself there. In fact, this isn't even the first time they've stealthily updated settlements. This is my settlement of Little Laywood. Funny enough, it's actually one of the largest settlements in the game. As you can see from this comparison with the screenshot from 2021, at least 3 buildings changed with the Fractal update. However, you may also notice that some of the landing pads and markets completely changed locations. Now, this actually occurred last year, without any patch notes or fanfare. My Oasis of Null actually lost a building in that update, which I couldn't believe given how small it already was. But the point I'm trying to make is that sometimes Hello Games changes things in patches that don't lead to anything. Here's an example of a patch that changed the color of grass on a planet from one day to the next. It didn't mean anything though, apparently. So while it's fun to speculate and wonder what all this could mean, we have to remember that nothing we imagine is actually promised. Heck, not even the Quicksilver rewards found in the game files are actually promised. So let's keep speculation reasonable and our expectations minimal. Oh yeah, and our eyes peeled for the next secret changes. So those were 5 secret changes that I noticed in the Fractal update, but what about you? Did you see anything sus in your playthrough? Anything strange in the latest patch or experimental update? Do you think those neon signs are indicative of a bigger feature? Or just some cool decoration for our bases? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're feeling generous, leaving a like or dislike on the video helps a bunch. My previous videos on the Fractal update were really successful thanks to your help. Like I always say, I make the videos, y'all make them successful, so thank you. And if you're looking for more in-depth No Man's Sky content, subscribing is a free way to do us both some good. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Howdy friends, and welcome.
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Film Theory, where no matter how much the theorist dynasty grows, we promise to never get a big head. Well, theorists, my buddy Paul Rudd is back.
Hi, Matt Pat. I'm Paul Rudd, star of such hit as I Love You, Man.
With a new hit movie, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Maybe hit is overselling it a bit based on audience review scores for this one, so let me just try that again. Of all the MCU movies, Ant-Man Quantumania is one of them. It says a lot about a movie when the most excitement I get is the final title that reveals that the words Ant-Man were actually hidden in Quantumania the entire time. I was like, whoa, no way. It's like when you find out that the FedEx logo has a secret arrow hiding inside of it. But with this latest release, we officially have entered the beginning of MCU Phase 5, where, as the marketing hype says, nothing will ever be the same, which is actually very much the same for Marvel movies. Hey guys, maybe just consider changing up your press releases every once in a while. Or, you know what, never mind, scratch that. Maybe I should be careful what I wish for, considering change is the thing that single-handedly drove this movie into the ground. Well, that and Soggy Bottom MODOK. Seriously, this is like the alternate universe if they had waited to reveal Ugly Sonic as part of the movie. Here, we're just stuck with this thing for 2 hours. Anyway, if you're really into PG Rick and Morty episodes, then this one is the movie for you.
I'm the eye-hole man.
Whether you like the film or not, something that I've seen everyone agree on is that things felt off. about the story, scenes that felt awkwardly placed, moments that resolved too quickly, character arcs that were more like character cliffs. And this time, there's no one around to break the fourth wall and argue with the producers about it.
None of these storylines make any sense. Is this working for you?
Something major changed here, and I'm not just talking about normal production stuff where things get left on the cutting room floor. There's another movie hiding in here somewhere. One that got chopped up, shuffled around, re-edited, rearranged, and reshot for some reason. And I want to know what that original movie was. I want to see the story that this was trying to tell, because my boy Ant-Man deserved better. I want to still care about this franchise and its Pharaoh Kang that looks like it just rolled out of the Party City. I want to, but it's real hard. And if I need to stop caring about this franchise, I want to know what went wrong along the way. Short version, get it? Short version. Anyway, I think at one point Scott Lang's adventure to the quantum realm not only had a very different, much darker ending, it also had a more complicated, morally complex story arc for the main character. But here's the biggest twist. I think solving what this movie could have been tells us a fascinating tale of the major mistakes that Marvel and the rest of Hollywood are making right now. Okay, so let me give you the quick recap of the movie we got, so we can then, actually piece together the movie we should have got. So it's 2025, and Scott Lang is kind of sort of retired from Ant-Manning, since there really hasn't been an Avengers-level threat lately, except for a city being taken hostage, a giant kaiju battle over Egypt, the multiverse ripping apart, and the complete rampage of a deadly witch gone rogue. Everyone just forgot Scott's number for those. So instead, he wrote a book, available on audible.com, I have no doubts. Meanwhile, Hope is running Pym Industries as a do-gooder girl boss, Hank is collecting fat paychecks for mildly reacting to CGI ants, and Janet is definitely not talking about what she did while stuck in the quantum realm for the past 30 years. Seriously, don't even bring it up. She just doesn't have time to talk about it right now, okay, guy? As for Scott's daughter, Cassie, she's all grown up into a completely different human being. She's also grown up to be an activist, stealing cop cars and protesting for the land rights of blip victims. So basically, she's a flag smasher. But don't worry, it's okay for her to do it because she's the hero's daughter. She also thinks that the grown-ups in her life are kind of resting on their save the world that one time laurels instead of being as angry about all this stuff like she is. Then everyone gets zapped into the quantum realm so this whole boomers versus zoomers allegory can play out with cool monsters and lasers.
That's how you communicate, isn't it? By metaphor.
The good guys get split up between Hank, Hope, and Janet so she can very slowly reveal the plot, while Scott and Cassie get caught up with a group of refugees being oppressed by an evil dictator, Kang the Conqueror. Yeah, it's going exactly where you think it is. This is the kind of cause that Cassie is super passionate about, and she wants to use her powers to help. Scott, meanwhile, says it's not their fight, and he's only focused on getting her home. And with that, we've set up, yet again, the clear ideological divide between these two characters that will then see inevitably play out over the next 2 hours of... Oh, wait, Scott just decides to agree with Cassie. Okay, that was quick to resolve itself. Well, anyway, Cassie gets captured by Kang, forcing Ant-Man to cooperate. They escape and ultimately return, storming the castle with their ragtag army of refugees. Kang blasts a lot of people with a disintegration laser, but then makes the strategic decision to only punch all the named characters. Eventually, the script writers remember it's an Ant-Man movie, so Kang is ultimately overwhelmed by an army of CGI ants. Oh, and MODOK is here. And then, right before they escape the quantum realm through a portal, Kang returns. Scott makes the ultimate self-sacrifice by pushing the rest of his family to safety, while he gets the beatdown of his life.
We both just had to lose.
Just as it looks like he's about to die, Hope comes in through the closing portal to finish off Kang for good. Maybe. Scott and Hope get a big dramatic heroes looking out over victory wide shot, perfect for an ambiguous but hopeful cut to black cliffhanger, and thus the movie ends with Scott and Hope trapped in the quantum realm with Cassie and the rest of the young Avengers having to work to get them back. Wait, another record scratch? That is like 2 times we've used the same bit this episode. No, actually, instead of being stranded in the quantum realm, Cassie immediately opens another portal to the real world somehow, and we get a weirdly abrupt happy ending coda almost entirely in VO, where Scott wonders whether Kang will return. And then 2 post-credit scenes at the end of the film teaser confirm that yes, he will return. So, that's the movie. And largely, it works as a film, I guess. Are there plot threads left awkwardly dangling? Absolutely. Is it an Ant-Man movie? No, definitely not. But all of those things weren't what set my theorist senses a-tingling. What really convinced me to start digging deeper here was the ending. Everything that happens from when Cassie turns the portal back on looks a lot like something that was put together after the fact in post-production, using a bunch of recycled B-roll, a few minimal reshoots, and new voiceover. I mean, Scott's self-sacrifice fake-out lasts less than a minute. Just from a visual storytelling perspective alone, doesn't fit the very affectionate, hug-it-out, family-above-all tone that the rest of the movie sets up. No big, how am I gonna get out this time moment. No big reunion scene on the other side of the portal. No restatement of the lessons that were learned along the way. This is Marvel Studios here, people. If that's stuff ain't in there, it's because it wasn't shot to begin with. Kevin runs himself a tight ship.
The most advanced entertainment algorithm in the world, and it produces near perfect product.
And that conclusion is supported by leaks that happened as far back as last September, which said that, while no one was meant to die in the end, Hope and Scott were meant to get stranded in the quantum realm. That shot of Cassie turning on the portal, I suspect that it was originally going to be her activating something else entirely, possibly even as part of a post-credit scene. My personal headcanon is that she was flipping a switch to signal her father's old team to come help him. Our first confirmation that the Avengers are coming back, except this time, they're young. You wouldn't even need to know who the Avengers actually were at this point, just a tense zoom on a digital screen and then assemble. But also, a self-sacrificial ending here makes logical sense as well. See, while it might be a bit of an exaggeration to say
Marvel movies all end the same way.
Wait, who's saying that?
one thing you probably did notice is that heroic self-sacrifice happens a lot. It's far and away the MCU's third favorite trope after bad dads and villains who are actually evil versions of the hero. Thor giving up Jane to stop Loki, Wanda losing Vision to destroy the Mind Stone, Black Widow yeeting herself off the cliff for the Soul Stone, Wen-Wu protecting his son from the Dweller in Darkness, Peter Parker giving up his life to fix the multiverse, and of course, Iron Man's sacrifice to snap away Thanos. Heck, the way that we know that Captain America is the goodest of the good guys is that he's a jump on the grenade guy at the beginning of his story, without needing to learn any lessons about humility or respect on the way. Be ready to lay down your life for others is the moral baseline of the MCU. It's the thing that makes the good guys here. Even newer characters are being put to the same tried and true test. In Multiverse of Madness, America Chavez is only able to defeat evil Wanda after she says that she'd be willing to sacrifice herself for the good of the many. Then, and only then, is she able to become a Marvel hero who can sucker punch someone who once held her own against Thanos. What all of these stories have in common is that the sacrifice is the payoff to an arc in the growth of the character. Thor learns how to put others' needs ahead of his own. America stops running from her problems. Tony's been trying to make up for being an arms dealer since he became Iron Man. And here's the thing, Ant-Man movies have already used the trope. In the first film, Scott shrinks to quantum size to protect Cassie 1.0, and therefore stop the man who would be MODOK, even though as far as he knew, there was no coming back from that choice. Why then would they do the same kind of payoff here again in the third outing? Well, here's one possibility. What if that subplot about Scott and Cassie butting heads over when and how to get involved in other people's fights that just kind of resolves itself in one scene was originally meant to be a much bigger deal? As in, the entire point of the movie kind of bigger. One thing I made fun of in my plot summary about the movie, but that's really frustrating when you actually watch it, is how slowly Janet reveals information about Kang. She knows that he's been down here the entire time. In fact, she's the one who helped Kang rise to power. She's the reason all of this is happening and why all these Rick and Morty rejects are being oppressed. But the movie delivers that information to us in a weird way. They drip feed it to us at a snail's pace, like much longer than a typical movie would deliver this information. They keep the name of the villain secret for a bunch of the runtime of the film, referring to Kang as him, all of them talking in hushed tones much longer than you would expect. And the fact that Janet is split up from Scott and Cassie means that even when she does finally find the time to explain her backstory, like an hour into the film, Scott and Cassie still wouldn't know the danger that's around them. I suspect that the film was originally structured this way so that Kang's appearance and the fact that he's evil would be a big middle of the movie reveal. Now, that might seem like a big leap, but consider what this does to the character arcs in the film. What if, in an earlier version of the movie, Scott didn't take Cassie's side right away? Instead, he kept trying to only protect her. As a result, he takes up Kang's go-get-a-thing-from-me offer willingly despite her objections because, from his perspective, hey, we don't know what's happening down here, really. He seems to be the guy in charge. Why are we assuming the weird aliens who made us drink goo are the good guys? That then reinforces the opening beats of the movie, the generational gap and their different priorities. Then it all goes wrong and the rest of the story plays out mostly the same. Hey, I'm Kang. Thanks for helping me achieve my true power. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm just gonna go oppress everything. Look at what that does. Scott suddenly realizes that he was wrong all along. He feels guilty for enabling this villain and needs to do an MCU heroic sacrifice, trademark, to atone for it, thereby reaffirming his good guy status while also establishing Cassie as having had the clearer, more righteous moral judgment all along. There's even this really strange moment in the actual film that makes me feel like we're really onto something here. Just before the big final battle, Scott stands up in giant man mode to confront Kang, and he has this angry line, shouting more seriously than we've ever heard this character sound. We had a deal. Our word is our bond. Which, okay, he's mad. He should be, but why is he outraged that Kang, a guy he just found out existed, a guy that he only knows as an evil dictator? Is Scott really that surprised that he was dishonest with him? He has no reason to have assumed that he could trust Kang, unless all of that is a remnant from a version of the story where he did. Gotta tell you, theorists, all the pieces are in place for us. It fixes the broken story arcs, it explains the awkwardly paced storytelling, it corrects the uncomfortable and reshot ending. Kang's heel turn was meant to be a twist reveal rather than a core part of all the marketing. So why then did they make such a drastic change, and in the process butcher this movie to pieces? Because I suspect that this wasn't meant to be a Phase 5 movie, this was meant to be the end of Phase 4. Let me explain. If I'm right about what this movie's plot and ending were meant to be, look at what we're left with. A dark story about oppression, not trusting authority, and an ideological divide between older and younger generations of heroes. That doesn't sound like an Ant-Man movie, but it does sound like a Marvel Phase 4 project. For all its disjointed weirdness, Phase 4 did have itself a consistent theme: instability. Characters grappling with the realization that defeating Thanos, literally thwarting the end of the universe, didn't end every other problem forever. They're still suffering, injustice, inequality. Some of it got even worse, and now there are big disagreements over what to do about that, especially between people who feel like the biggest fight ever has already been won and those who think the fight has only just started, which of course falls across generational lines. And it's here that we pit a rising crop of young heroes who want to fight the power and often hail from backgrounds that are, less significantly heavy on white guys named Chris, against older heroes who just want to retire. Hawkeye and Ant-Man just want to be dads. The Hulk is into meditation now. The entire nation of Wakanda just wants to be left alone again. And if you're really into heavy-handed metaphors, in Multiverse of Madness, Scarlet Witch goes full supervillain by trying to rip the life force out of a Latina teenager in order to resurrect a fake version of the American dream that only ever existed in her imagination. Even the blackest sheep of Phase 4, Thor: Love and Thunder, got in on these same themes of instability and generational change. I mean, the bad guy wants to literally kill every god. You don't get much more anti-authority than that. And the movie ultimately agrees with Gore. We see that the gods do suck. Thor is only able to win by blowing up his franchise's chosen one conceit, by declaring that all the kids are worthy to be Thor, and that anything from random junk to a teddy bear can be as good as Mjolnir. That right there, that is Phase 4's narrative in one place. The system is falling apart, the people in charge are either corrupt or failing to fix it, the young people know what's what, and they're the ones who are gonna save us. The righteous path for any OG Avenger still kicking around is to aid, mentor, and pass that torch to the next generation. Ant-Man getting tricked into empowering a time-hopping multiversal dictator, him and the Wasp getting trapped and needing help from a younger generation of heroes, sounds like a solid way to bring all these themes together and end this arc of storytelling on a cliffhanger that then gets us eager for the next major chapter of the story in the new Phase 5. So then why would they have changed Quantumania's story?
They called it the blip.
In this case, I'm talking about the real-world blip of 2020. COVID happened, not only delaying movie release dates, but the entire real-world global economy. Movie production was at a standstill. Theaters were closing. People were turning to YouTube and TikTok for their entertainment. Suddenly, the pressure was on for Marvel to single-handedly save the cinema. Things had to be churned out as fast as possible whenever they were able to get finished. Looking at Marvel's original release schedule for Phase 4, it seems that the plan was to gradually introduce the multiverse, as opposed to throwing it all out there at once. No longer was there a chance to slowly build up to the reveal of Kang. He had to be put out there front and center. People loved Thanos after all, they'll have to love this guy too. Make Endgame happen again, because the world almost ended and the movie biz is on the verge of dying. Pander to how corporate suits see Gen Z. Make sure the fans are satisfied by giving him MODOK. They've been asking for him for a while. Bigger scale, bolder choices, multi-screen viewing experiences. Look at this graph of MCU content released by year. 2021 had 5 times the amount of content of any other year before it. It was a rush, a move of desperation to recover after a year without theaters. Except in all of this rush, they forgot why people came out to these movies in the first place. The stories, the characters, not gears of a plot working together or fan service for the sake of fan service. Earn moments with tight narratives, compelling stories that made sense without massive plot holes. Not an over-reliance on quippy dialogue, but dialogue that was funny because, yeah, that would be what that character would say in that moment. What's killing the MCU right now, and especially Quantumania here, are moves that are made out of panic, self-doubt, a lack of confidence in the stories that they plan to tell, re-edits that result in choppy, uneven, compromised narratives as films are hacked to pieces. It took the Marvel brand, which used to act as a seal of quality, that's now reduced it into something that, yeah, maybe I'll go see that when it airs on streaming. The last time a studio acted in this sort of panicked way, rushing to get to the next big event, that was DC. We're still watching how long it's taken them to turn things around. And there you have it, theorists, the darker story for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Are we right? Totally off? Will we ever know? It's hard to say. What I'm sure about is that this isn't going to be the last time that this genre of theory comes up. The whole media industry is still putting itself back together after years of huge world-shaping events. And even if it didn't play out as dark as it might have, the most relatable story that this movie tried to tell is that you can't really unchange the world, only decide how you are going to respond to it. But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory. And cut.
friends, and welcome to 2023. New year, new videos. So folks are always asking me to make more videos about the game's dense and surprisingly dark lore. So we're starting off the year right with one of my favorite aspects of any universe, backstories. Most people probably look at No Man's Sky as an open universe survival sandbox and little more. But the truth is that the game has some seriously captivating lore and characters. You just have to know where to look. Originally, this video was titled 5 Insane Character Backstories, but the more I worked on the script, the more I realized insane wasn't quite the right word. I'm Kanaju, and these are 6 tragic No Man's Sky backstories. Now, before I begin, I have to warn you, this video is all spoilers, front to back. Every second of it is a spoiler of some kind. Even the spoiler warning is spoiling the fact that I'll be asking you to leave a like at the end of the video. So, non-stop spoilers. If you haven't completed the main quest line, A Trace of Metal, the Boundary Failure lore entries, Remembrance Terminals, or the Sentinel Pillar lore entries, you have been warned. I will be revealing the origins of the Atlas, the Abyss, and even the universe itself in this video. Not even kidding, so be prepared for some heavy lore.
Oh man, it's been a minute. What up?
What's good, Greggy?
What's going on, man?
Not much. Sorry. Shot. I'm so mad at this shit.
Yeah,
Why,
No Man's Sky right now.
what's that?
Not your type of game.
Yeah, I was just so mad because then today was my first day back in the office, but I just haven't
Okay.
been on the game that much.
Yeah, that's what happens when you have a life.
I got a new job and shit. I work for Amtrak now.
Oh, congrats, I guess.
Yeah. They take a while to find life, but I don't know. But it's good. It's chill.
That's what's up.
Random shit. How you been?
Chill. Same shit,
Just
different
chill.
day.
Fuck. You used to play PAX?
Not like that.
Uh,
And especially not right now because I just got my fight stick. So,
oh, what's that?
it's for fighting games.
Oh.
It's like, you know the arcades? Like the old arcade setup where it's like a joystick and then a button setup?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh, that's right.
So I have to relearn everything. But
Oh, that's
it's a
nice.
process. It allows me to be a little bit more violent when I play.
As you should.
Because when I do my controller now, like, I just don't want to ruin it with a lot of violent controller movements.
Yeah.
So, figure I'd get something specifically for fighting. I wanted to get a hitbox, but a hitbox is fucking $400,
Yeah,
$350.
fuck that. Fuck that.
I mean, I'm probably going to get one eventually, to be honest with you. If I'm still into fighting games a year from now, yeah, I'll probably.
Yeah.
If I'm getting like super competitive with it, because that's what I'm gonna be like hard training and shit.
Yeah. I've been just trying to. I'm in a man at work. I don't take a lot to games out for my people.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, I got out of that sports game shit.
Yeah, I'm still sweating with Madden. Not that much I sweat on 2K, but I'm playing a little bit with that too. But they and then in real life, me and my friends be trying to go play Fortnite. And it's like $3 a day.
That's what's up.
About to start doing work to my car. I'm gonna put like 3,000, 4,000 hours into my car,
Ooh,
and
okay.
then yeah, I'm gonna do a new muffler. I'm gonna change my interior. I want to tune it. I get 300 horsepower. I'm at like 250 right now, and then just a little cosmetic shit. Put on a new bumpers on it, shit like that.
Yeah, I feel you.
And then now we're gonna start my tattoos. I gotta get my hair retwisted first though, but that's it. I want to get a leg for my legs. I gotta figure out what kind of sleeve I want with my legs. Probably get a leg sleeve and probably get something for my back. But yeah, that's just like further down the line deciding what that's gonna be. Right now it's more getting my hair retwisted, add some
Word.
seasoning on the rim, and lay black on all this hair.
Nice. Those are eels, huh?
I don't know if you know, his neighbor's like bullying me right now or something.
Oh, I'm sorry for him. don't.
He likes that shit.
I mean, that doesn't change my answer.
He likes it. He said there's last spot that he's not done.
Okay. Some people, I guess, like being property.
But he comes home and visits sometimes, but for the most part, he constantly working. And he has such bad shift. His shift takes literally his whole
Like I said, I just can't be somebody else's property. I'm good. My forefathers fought too hard not to let that happen, so I'm good.
swear. I tried to get him to come to the house. He didn't want to do it. He really wanted to go to the airport.
Hmm.
Because I don't really, it's not like I do like hard labor with the railroad. It's just maintenance. And I get paid really good. But he didn't want to go. So it's okay. I'm not going to force him to leave.
Alright.
Oh, gee.
Alright, is there any more cleaning up I gotta do? Before I start throwing this nigga shit out? Got all the cardboard boxes over here. I'm about to start. I need to go to my job tomorrow. Pick up some of that equipment. Yeah, I want to get rid of that you smell, nigga. Get the fuck out of here. You stink. Alright, so what game am I about to hop on? No, I'm still on No Man's Sky. Still on No Man. So what am I doing in No Man's Sky? That's the fucking question. I was building a base, which is cool, but that's kind of boring. I want to do something. So No Man's Sky is basically just it's an exploration game with like, you ever seen the joke on how like women like mimosas, where it's like they'll pour a whole bottle of champagne in a glass and then like they'll literally put a drop of orange juice and say that's a mimosa? That's how combat is in this game. It's 95% exploration, 5% combat. It's just sprinkled in. I'm streaming right now if you wanted to look at it.
Are you on Twitch?
No, YouTube. But you could look at it through the game. You don't have. I mean, yeah. I mean, you could do it on your phone too. You know what to say? You could put, since it's the PS5, you could put a picture in picture. Pretty sure. What
Oh my God, I just hopped on YouTube.
Oh, I'm in the perfect system. All right, these niggas about to die. Bye. It's just the main claim to fame about this game is just that you can go from. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, you could go from a planet to outer space with no loading screen. Yeah. And also there's you couldn't, if every person that ever played this game, not that is playing at one time, every person that ever played this game played at the same time and explored all different planets for 15 years for 8 hours a day, they wouldn't find all the planets in the game. Yeah. It's kinda crazy. Yeah, it's a good like really like chill game. Like you just want to just chill out and just explore. You take on a little bit of robots every now and then, a little bit of space combat, a little bit of space pirating. That's what I'm doing right now. Blowing up this ship for its resources. Stop it. And then I heard boom from the amplifier. Boom with the pimped out booty shoes. I ain't got no job, but I say fly. I can't pay my rent. How long has this stream been going on? I don't even know. Like an hour?
2 hours.
2 hours? Okay, then I actually should be almost done. I'm about to get back into training for that fucking Tekken fighting stick. I'm surprised you're not into fighting games.
Not really. I never really got into any.
That's what I'm surprised about. Well, actually, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. And let me take that back. I'm not surprised about that. Now that I think about it. Yeah, I know. I figured something like that. No offense, but your generation doesn't tend well when it's like challenged with something. And old school fighting games are extremely challenging and frustrating. It takes a lot of patience to sit there and learn it. Versus something like a Dragon Ball Fighters, which is a lot easier. You fucking make up combos and that all day long. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this is why I think you should learn an old school fighting game. Street Fighter's about to come out with a new game. Tekken's going to come out with a new game this year. If you can make people cry in that game, that's saying something. That's a real PvP. Like, I don't know. This new PvP, like, I don't, Madden, all those sports games, I feel like if you figure out a cheap ass method, you're almost unstoppable. Fighting games, there is no cheap method. There is no cheap method. There's a style, and it could be good against certain things, but there's always a counter. Always a counter. I can't counter something in Madden where it's like, I need my best receiver to be on your best receiver, but when I do that, you could pick a play to where it just glitches out my defense. It's like, I can't do anything about that. There's no counter for that, is there? I don't know. Well, you'd have to like man up each individual player that you want to be manned up, right? Some weird shit like that.
Depends what kind of defense you're running. Like me personally, there's kids that will
do you play Phoenix a lot?
Phoenix? No, but I used to play Wish a lot.
Who?
Phoenix, I'm not really that close.
Oh, okay.
Wish, I'm not that close. Wish, and yeah, they're both like really good, but Wish is like, Wish and Phoenix go at each other.
Yeah, I know, but they win differently. Wish wins more with, I feel like, skill. Phoenix wins more with exploiting the game and
Phoenix exploits the game more.
yeah. That's that's what I'm saying. That's why I got out of playing Madden and playing fucking 2K and all that shit.
People get confused with my defense because they see that I'm coming out of the same defense every play, so they're like, okay, he's coming out of this defense, and they go on their YouTube and like, okay, this play beats this defense. But what they don't know is that I'm manually making my own adjustments to my own defense every single time I come out in. So I'll come out in man and change the man to a cover one.
Oh, is that what people fucking do? No, I'm talking about like, say if you've been beating them for most of the game. I didn't even think of that. See, that's how I know I'm a fucking boomer. Fucking, I be beating somebody for the first 3/4 of the game, and then all of a sudden they know every play to beat my defense, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck? And then I'm like thinking about it, yeah.
If you're running something new against somebody that they never seen before, they're gonna come out
Yeah, they'll just be looking at YouTube for the first, I don't know, for the first 5-10 minutes of the game until they figure it out. Yeah.
especially now with YouTube Shorts, it's really easy to do. That's why I literally set up a defense all game long. And if they start to figure out how to like what I'm doing with that defense, I have a whole nother three formations to change that shit out. And they just confuse me.
Yeah, that's what I need to learn how to do, is do it out of different formations, because that's what I usually run. I still run my fucking what's that blitz called? The blitz I've been running for literally 8 years. Since 2017. No. It's out of fucking, what's that shit that Chip Kelly used to run? Out of the wide nine. It used to be only out of the wide nine. Now, mid blitz. Yeah, I still run the mid blitz, but now I run a couple of variations off of just it in general, where I could do pretty well off of it. But like I said, after halftime, that shit is.
Yeah, like even with the blitz, if I'm running a cover blitz, I'm like a blitz. You know how everyone's saying every blitzers.
Yeah, see, you're changing the whole concept of the mid blitz right there. Yeah, that definitely would fuck with somebody.
I'll take my defensive ends, put them in flats, with my two linebackers, put them in zones, and I have a whole fucking cover 2 zone defense and a mid blitz.
Yeah, that's a lot of button pressing. I got it. Okay.
12-2 a weekend.
Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely never playing fucking whatchamacallit again. Yeah, never playing Ultimate Team again. Unless I just become a millionaire, then yeah. If I become like somebody that's like making over $100,000 a year, which actually is not that out of the concept, but if I ever do become like that, then maybe at the very, like, maybe if I ever have time, but like nah. Ultimate Team is too. They always die because no franchise ever lasts longer than 2 seasons at the very most. Yeah, because it's weird. Madden doesn't do enough to take care of that game mode because it doesn't make them any money. There's so many things that I feel like they could do. They could put a league limit in where you can only join 3 leagues at a time. Cause then I feel like you're stretching yourself way too fucking thin. Like, what the fuck are you doing in more than 3 leagues? Unless you created them. If you created them, then fine. They don't count towards whatever total leagues you have. But like joinable leagues, that should only be like 3 at the most. Because everybody just joins, but then that still doesn't. And then there should be a leaving league penalty to where you can't. That spot is fucking closed until, like, I don't know, you finish out a season or something. I don't know. There could be a hardcore season mode that they could implement. That would be really fucking dope. And then you could have it tied into Ultimate Team if you really want, like, fucking, if you want to do, because then people will find a way to, the only way you could do it is if somehow Madden found a way to run the franchise. Which I don't see Madden giving a fuck about anytime soon. But yeah, I'm considering that like a dead franchise for me. Madden 2K, I'm still kind of interested in because that's still fun. That's a lot less of a what is it called? It's not even competitive. It's not the competitive aspect. Oh, repetitive. That's the aspect. I like 2K because it's more of a like, okay, every play is something different, and there's so many plays, so many ways to score, so many opportunities to play good defense. Yeah. Yeah, but there's also things there's a little bit of ways to get around it as long as you're not like using just like Steph Curry. Like again, I'm not playing my team. I'm not playing my team in 2K. So
like in real life, the Warriors, they use a shit ton of screens, they get right, yeah.
Oh yeah, if you're using the Warriors as a team, but I'm talking about again my team. If you're using like Steph Curry with Giannis and fucking something else, it's like, yo, you literally can't do anything unless you have.
Something that I learned from my team here is that people like to like base, like they like to base their team, like so like they think of Steph Curry, Steph Curry, like run their offense through Curry with just secondary options, like how they do in real life.
Yeah.
They picked up Giannis, they try to run the offense through Giannis.
And if you limit yourself like that, if you do find something that could stop it, you're kind of fucked.
But it's like it's hard to stop, but once you do stop, like you actually like it matters. Once you find a way to stop something, you're gonna win in the next like 4 to 5 years. So you play against something different. It takes a while to play against.
No, I wouldn't even say when you figure out how to stop something. When you figure out how to become cheesy, that's when you win 4 or 5 games in a row. When you learn how to stop something, that's when you start getting into like, okay, I might be actually like in like a different tier now, because learning to do something is easy. Learning to stop something is hard because you have to stop variations of something. It's not like you can just stop one thing and expect that to work on 5 different people, because most of the time, people put a little spin on it. They'd be like, okay, well, that works in this situation, so I'm going to do this, this, and this. So Madden, once you learn how to stop the concept of something, that's when it becomes like, okay, I'm a little bit dangerous now. Now I just got to learn when everybody uses when specifically. Like, when you learn how to stop, RPOs? That one RPO that goes around the, there's this one cheap RPO that people run. I forget. It's like the tight end goes out on a flat. Yeah, tight end goes out on a flat. There's a cheap one that people learn how to stop, but like once you learn how to stop that, it's hard to learn how to stop that, and you have to learn how to like kind of predict when they're gonna be in it and stuff. But once you got it, you just gotta look out for the signs for it. But once you learn how to fucking do something, then you just gotta make somebody stop it. That's a lot easier. Cause like, listen, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna run. What's that play that I run? Just a trap running play. Because you don't stop the trap running play the same way you stop every other running play, the trap run. So people don't know how to stop the trap run. So I sit there and literally run the trap run for 3/4 of the game and just be like, okay, I'm just gonna keep doing this till you stop it. And they're like, yo, stop running a draw. Like, bro, I'm not running a draw. You can see what play I'm running. You can read it. It says trap. You're not audibling out, bro. Bro. Just collecting material. Oh God, I am not looking forward to this training I'm about to get into. Alright, Brady. Have a good one, man. Hey, Rob.
What's up?
No. Just missed A-Bye.
Oh, I didn't know he came in here.
Yeah, he's just in here.
He must have came in here after he left the party with Ghost.
Well, probably.
Get my phone before I start practicing.
Okay, I think that took care of everything over here.
Oh, I didn't know we still had those. Yeah, we do.
Oh boy.
Alright. You down for some sparring matches? I know you're in the galaxy right now, so don't know what you have time for.
Yeah, give me like 5 minutes. Let me see what I have to do here.
Okay.
Weekend event. 1,800 Quicksilver, 10 hours left. What do I have to do? Collect 20 storm crystals? Oh, that's easy.
You know what I never understood?
What?
Even though, like, it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. How Nina could speak. Hold on. how Nina could speak like perfect English to Hayachi,
Okay.
and he understands it. He responds in Japanese.
But
She just keeps responding in English.
yeah, some people aren't comfortable in Japanese. Like, they're not comfortable. Like, 'cause I know it's plenty of people that can understand Spanish, but that don't speak it.
It's just funny to see both sides understanding, but they're just like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep speaking the way I'm speaking. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna translate.
Japanese people do that shit all the time. A lot of them can understand English, but they just don't speak it. Especially if we're talking about like the business people in Japan. I'm not talking about Japanese people in America. Those people are Americans. I'm talking about in Japan. A lot of them can speak English, but they just don't. Or they can understand English, but they just don't speak it. Yeah, I'm about to have some fried fish, mac and cheese, and collard greens. I have to get collard greens. I can't get candied yams. I have to eat a little healthy, right? Just a little. So they oxtail, Rob, is $30, bro. Fuck out of here. Oxtail, $30? I don't know. How long has the stream been going on now? 2.5 hours? Yeah, I can end it now. Alright, guys. I'm going to end the stream. Everybody have a good one. Thank you for tuning in to the No Man's Sky. I will come at you with another type of video. Peace.